if Caitlin Clark somehow wins the WNBA championship this year, she will have put together the greatest rookie season in the history of professional sport. Include Caitlin Clark in the conversation, as I like to do, but we're also going to bring the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Caitlin Clark, Deion Sanders, all in the same boat with historical perspective and knowledge. And more than anything, I'm gonna blast the media.
Imagine this, WNBA playoff games with empty seats and TV ratings in free fall. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what's happening without Caitlin Clark on the court. We're talking a 50% drop in viewers for some games. That's not just bad, it's a full-on crisis for the league. Hold up, you think low TV ratings are bad? Wait till you hear about the ghost town at the Barclays Center during a crucial playoff game. It's not just about missing one star player. There's a bigger story here that's got fans and officials scratching their heads. Let's talk numbers. The New York Liberty versus Las Vegas Aces match at the Barclays Center. Only 14,015 fans showed up.
WNBA Player of the Week. There have only been 40 triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlin Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week. She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place and 26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way.
That's not even 75% capacity for one of the most hyped playoff series in recent WNBA history. It's like throwing a party and half your guests decide to stay home and watch paint dry instead. Now, you might be thinking, maybe it's just a New York thing. No, this attendance slump is hitting the league hard across the board. It's like someone flipped a switch and suddenly WNBA games became the last place people want to be.
Charles Barkley talking about the Caitlin Clark phenomenon and the people he blames for blowing this whole Caitlin Clark deal.
People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you. It's just total bullshit. These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try. What is going on here? And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. But these ladies, who I love and respect their game, they couldn't have this thing up.
Remember when we talked about Caitlin Clark? Her impact on the court is like magic. When she plays, it's not just a game, it's an event. People show up in droves, TV ratings skyrocket, and social media buzzes with excitement. It's the Caitlin Clark effect, and right now, the WNBA is feeling its absence big time. But here's where it gets really interesting. Fans aren't just staying away because Clark isn't on the court, they're frustrated. They're speaking out. One fan summed it up perfectly. I planned on watching more until the commissioner Kathy Engelbert downplayed her contributions to national TV.
The Caitlin Clark phenomenon. How do you describe it?
She's clearly an unbelievable player, came in with an unbelievable following, has brought a lot of new fans to the league. If you look at our historic season around this class of rookies, we will be talking about them a generation from now.
I noticed when you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
Ouch, that's like your boss telling everyone your big project wasn't really that important. The WNBA's failure to capitalize on Clark's popularity is like having a winning lottery ticket and forgetting to cash it in. Fans are noticing and they're not happy. It's not just about one player. It's about recognizing and celebrating the stars that make people want to watch. Think about it. When you've got a player who can nearly double your viewership, you'd expect the league to be all over that, right? Instead, it feels like they're almost pushing her away. It's a head scratcher that's leaving fans confused and frankly a bit annoyed.
There's a lot of women that was on ESPN that had a lot to say earlier about this. They gone quiet now. Y'all had a lot to say early. And if you think I'm talking to you, I am. Make no mistake about it. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Man, she was coming off the picks, let the threes go.
Yeah.
Enrique come down, let one go.
Yeah.
She said, wow. She said, I'm tired right now. Hey, Kelsey, take that one. Kelsey hit that left hand on him. Wop, wop.
You know how in sports movies, there's always that clueless executive who makes all the wrong moves? Well, life might be imitating art in the WNBA right now. The league's handling of its newest superstar has fans scratching their heads and asking, is the WNBA sabotaging its own success? Let's talk about WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert for a second. She's catching some serious heat for not giving Caitlin Clark the recognition she deserves. It's like having a shiny new sports car and keeping it in the garage. Fans are noticing and they're not happy about it. One fan put it perfectly. I planned on watching more until the Commissioner Kathy Engelbert downplayed her contributions to national TV.
They've made Caitlin Clark more interesting. They've made Caitlin Clark the biggest star in American sports. They got this conversation wrong. The ladies, the active players in the WNBA, they haven't screwed up anything. Their little petty jealousy and sniping at Caitlin Clark is why 2 million people are tuning in to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball and to watch a bunch of other women blow layups every night.
Ouch, that's like telling your star player to sit on the bench during the championship game. But it's not just about Caitlin Clark. The WNBA's marketing game is weaker than a rookie's first practice. They're dropping the ball when it comes to promoting their stars. Imagine if the NBA didn't hype up LeBron or Steph Curry. That's basically what's happening here.
The WNBA was nothing before Caitlin Clark, and she has made it into something. I know how great she is because of Caitlin Clark. The Arike Amagawali, and I'm sorry if I messed up the name, the girl in Dallas. That girl's a baller. These guys are all working off of platforms that were already built long before they got there, and they have not elevated that platform.
Think about it. When you've got a player who can nearly double your viewership, you'd expect the league to be shouting from the rooftops. Instead, it feels like they're whispering into a pillow. It's a head scratcher that's leaving fans confused and frankly, a bit annoyed. Now, let's talk about the game itself. Some fans are saying the WNBA is getting too physical. It's like watching a wrestling match instead of a basketball game. Don't get me wrong, we all love a good competitive game, but when it starts feeling like a UFC fight, you've got to wonder if it's hurting the entertainment value. The WNBA needs to find that sweet spot between competitive play and fan-friendly basketball. It's like cooking a perfect steak, too raw, and people won't eat it.
You know how crazy these crowds get, though, when they see that logo 3.
Yeah, they go crazy.
Feels good to hit those?
Occasionally, it's not too bad. I feel like I'm always looking at the rim to start, especially our post players running down there. Like I always want to get to our post players when they're running to the rim. I'm like I'm not, people probably wouldn't consider me very big to play in the WNBA. Like I'm not quite 6 foot, like not the strongest. So I think just, having good balance is definitely the most important thing.
Too well done, and you've ruined a good piece of meat. You know what's crazy? The league's current approach is pushing away both new fans and old ones. New fans who showed up for Caitlin Clark are wondering where the excitement went. Longtime supporters are scratching their heads, wondering why the league isn't capitalizing on its new star power. It's like the WNBA is stuck in a time warp, using outdated playbooks while the rest of the sports world is living in 2023. They're missing out on golden opportunities to grow the game and attract new viewers. Remember how we talked about Caitlin Clark being a game changer? Well, she could be the WNBA's Tiger Woods.
The Atlanta Dream set the record for the biggest crowd to watch a WNBA game in Georgia history.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
Caitlin Clark tonight. Oh, gotta watch number 22. I've been watching Caitlin for a couple of years, and since then I've dreamed about coming to a game.
She's with just brought a lot to the WNBA and also to the game itself and for women, so women's sports.
One player who transforms an entire sport. But instead of embracing that potential, the league seems to be running in the opposite direction. The WNBA's got more than just one ace up their sleeve, but here's the million-dollar question. Why aren't they playing their full hand? There's a simple solution staring them right in the face, and it's not just about Caitlin Clark. Let's talk star power. In sports, one player can change everything. Think about Tiger Woods. He didn't just win tournaments, he transformed golf, made it cool, made people who never cared about golf suddenly tune in. That's the kind of impact Caitlin Clark could have on the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark was assaulted yesterday in her very first playoff game in the WNBA. We've seen the animus directed at Caitlin Clark all year. Ever be the biggest star in American sports was assaulted 2 minutes into the game on a dirty play with one of these women with these long fake fingernails that stabbed her in the eye. But damn it, in the first 2 minutes of this game, this Dejanay Carrington stabbed Caitlin Clark with her fingernails right in the eye.
But here's the kicker, she's not alone. The WNBA is packed with incredible talent, players with skills that'll make your jaw drop, but if nobody knows about them, what's the point? It's like having a killer playlist, but never hitting play. The league needs to turn up the volume on its stars. Imagine this, every game night, you're not just watching basketball, you're tuning in to see the next chapter in these players' stories. Will Aja Wilson break another record? Is Sabrina Ionescu going to pull off another triple-double? That's how you create must-see TV.
Minutes after Clark was picked, stores rolled out Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever jerseys and t-shirts.
Fans are on the hunt for anything and everything Clark now that she's officially a member of the Indiana Fever.
Away from Christmas time through, I mean, we didn't have nearly enough in stock for just the regular jersey t-shirts and whatnot. And then it's just been nonstop orders coming in still today.
Dick Weiss posted that more Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever jerseys were sold in one day than the Cowboys sold last year for the entire team.
But right now, the WNBA's marketing game is weaker than a rookie's first practice. They're not giving fans reasons to care about these players beyond the court.
Away, and we'll be locked in the whole way through. Here are the first round matchups: Liberty versus the Dream, Lynx versus the Mercury, Sun Fever in the 4-5 matchup, the Aces versus the Storm. But how about the Fever?
I feel like it's a great accomplishment, but like there's so much more left to be done. Like, yeah, we made the playoffs. There's 6 regular season games.
Yeah, they're a very dangerous team coming into this postseason. You know, they always tell you that the team that you want to watch out for are the teams that get hot at the right time.
Where are the behind-the-scenes stories, the personal journeys, the rivalries? That's the stuff that turns casual viewers into die-hard fans. Take Nike's hesitation to give Caitlin Clark her own signature shoe. That's not just a missed opportunity for Clark. It's a symptom of a bigger problem.
Clark now has an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that will include her own signature shoe. Caitlin Clark continues to set the bar when it comes to her impact on female athletics. Go out there, compete with her, try to bust her up if you want to, and all of that stuff. Just don't hate on the acclaim that she's getting.
The WNBA isn't doing enough to make its players marketable. They're not creating the kind of star power that makes brands want to jump on board. You know what's crazy? The solution is right there. The WNBA has all the ingredients for a recipe to success. Talented players, exciting games, potential for great stories. But they're not mixing it all together. It's like having all the parts to build a rocket ship, but leaving them scattered on the floor. The league needs to start thinking bigger. Don't just promote games, promote players. Create storylines that span the whole season. Make every game feel like part of a bigger narrative. Give fans reasons to tune in week after week. Not just for the playoffs.
Caitlin Clark became the first ever rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double twice in the same season. In that game, Clark scored her 103-point shot this season, becoming just the 6th woman. My WNBA Player of the Week, surprise, surprise, Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. It's nothing really to say other than that. She's winning Rookie of the Year. She's a top candidate for League MVP, honestly.
And it's not just about the big names. Every player has a story. The rookie trying to prove herself, the veteran making a comeback, the underdog team aiming for an upset. These are the stories that keep people hooked. Imagine if the WNBA took a page from the NBA's playbook. Remember Linsanity? That wasn't just about Jeremy Lin's skills. It was about his journey, his struggles, his unexpected rise.
Caitlin Clark, remember that girl, that superstar playing for Iowa that ended up going to the Final Four? She's got one of the hottest selling jerseys in sports, y'all. According to Fanatics, led by the one and only Michael Rubin, the deal is the richest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player. She deserves it!
The WNBA has those stories too. They just need to tell them. But here's the thing, it's not just about marketing. It's about creating a connection between fans and players. When you know a player's story, when you followed their journey, you're more likely to tune in. You're more likely to buy a ticket. You're more likely to wear their jersey. The WNBA has the potential to be more than just a basketball league. It could be a showcase of incredible athletes, compelling stories, and unforgettable moments. But to get there, they need to embrace their stars. All of them, not just the Caitlin Clarks, but every player with a story to tell.